Welcome back to the Splinter Twins, everybody. I'm Kyle, that's Mark, and it's our favorite time of, I was going to say the year, but it happens 6 times a year now. Spoiler season is done, and it's time to predict our top 5 cards.
Put down those cards and pick up these cards. It's time, everyone. And this set looks pretty fire. So we're going to give you our top 5 best cards of this set. And just so you know, we're not here gum flapping. We hold each other accountable. So we're going to look at our picks from Final Fantasy and only like brothers can really take the piss out of each other. But don't worry, there'll be some good-natured back patting because I think we got quite a few hits on Final Fantasy. But with no further ado, Kyle, how is your number 5 pick for this set looking?
So my number 5 card in Edge of Eternities is Elegy Acolyte. Do you know what this card does?
Yes, I do. It's
because
a very good card.
You
Short
should
list.
know. Yep, it is 2 black for a human cleric with lifelink. It's a 4/4, and it says whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card and lose 1 life. That's Gix, everybody. And then it has Void, so at the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, or if a spell was warped this turn, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. So you swing in for combat, one of your dudes doesn't make it, you're getting a 2/2. You could, in a lot of black decks, you could, swing in, they block your heck dies or whatever discard weenie, and you upgraded the creature. The fact that this has lifelink and card draw on it, like we're 1 point on that butt away from this me saying this is new Sheldred. Like this card's hot.
It's my 6th card, so it very closely made the list. I think that the couple of things you're paying for your upgraded Gix, right? You are paying 1 more mana for a point of power and a point of toughness, so tick there, that's pretty good. So you're on rate. You're paying for lifelink, that's pretty good for 1 mana. And I think the subtle sneaky thing is you're paying for not legendary. That's pretty good too. So how many times have you played a 4-pack of Gix and been like, shoot, I've got 2 3-drops. This card is, I think, very good with Deep Cavern Bats, which are probably going to eat removal. So, hey, congratulations on your 2/2. Or, hey, congratulations for flying in and drawing a card. And you don't even lose life because of the lifelink exchange. I just think this is a very powerful card. It'll be interesting to see what Mono Black does, right? Are they going to go that mid-range thing and have a bunch of 4-drops, most of which are rotating out? Your Sheoldreds, your, who's that big 6/6 demon? Archfiend of the Dross, he's gone. But maybe, do you think Black is going to go super aggro, like Cecil style, and just, go?
I think it actually goes in that deck. Black does a really good job of curving out. There's a lot of good 1, 2, and 3 drops, and it has the nice combination of supporting with removal spells and not irrelevant creature types, human and cleric. I'm not saying there's a cleric deck, but better than being a Kavu or a Sliver in standard right now. And you are that was the point I was going to make, is the fact that it's not legendary. Triggering this thing multiple times, that's the way.
Do not speak on Kavu. They were in outer space the whole time, and they do spaceships, and I love them. They are my pet dragon doggos. I think the card's sick. I think it's fire. I think it's going to be really good.
What is your number 5?
My number 5 is Blessed Be. If you were super worried about aggro, don't worry. Wizards got you covered. There is a new temporary lockdown in town. Pinnacle Starcage is actually, I think, a much better temporary lockdown. Yeah, it only hits artifacts and creatures, but let's be real. How many 2-mana enchantments were you sweeping up with temporary lockdown? Not a ton. Yeah, occasionally you catch, like, I don't know, a Relentless Nightmare or Hopeless
Not
Nightmare.
getting a beanstalk anymore.
You don't have to worry about that. But the fact that this thing has, oh, by the way, in addition to just sweeping things up, you've got an 8-mana, let's go put some 2/2s on the board. That's really good. Something to do, like, if they play a sweeper, so you're in the mirror or something. If you just need to crack this and get in for extra damage, you can do this. Oh, by the way, it's not at sorcery speed. So let's say you're holding up counter spells or card draw on their turn, and they say go, and you say, here's, 2, 3, 8/8s. The only thing, 2/2s for 8 mana. This is, I think, pretty dang powerful. Also, much like, you got a little cleric flavor on your pick, I got a little artifact flavor on this pick. So you're thinking about different cards that could trigger that or care about that. This just pops in there as well. I think this card's going to see a ton of play in control decks and mercifully keep the tides of aggro at day.
At day?
At bay. At bay.
Mark, the thing that you're forgetting is that this is an artifact. and that is much easier to deal with than it is an enchantment, which is why it's only my number 2 card instead of my number 1 card. This card is sick. You are 100% right. And yeah, the fact that this triggers Simulacrum Synthesizer, like, all day. This card is amazing. I think we all knew that some sort of temporary lockdown had to be coming in to replace it, just for everything that card has meant to the meta. But man, like you said, I think this one might be better. I think it might be better.
It's really good. It's really it's pretty to look at too. I like that Star Cage.
Okay, that's 2 of my cards, my number 5 and my number 2. Mark, let's catch you up. What is your number 4?
It's ironic. This should be my number 1 pick because it's the Zenith. This card is kind of nasty. Cosmo Grand, not Cosmo Guard. Cosmo Grand Zenith. Put some respect on this 3-drop's name. Whenever you cast your second spell, Flurry, I guess, but we're not calling it that anymore. Choose 1. Create 2 1/1 white human soldiers, both 2 relevant creature types there, I might add, tokens, or just go ahead and +1 your board. I think this card might be nasty. I really think it might be nasty.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, let me see if I can convince you. I think the modality here is really key. I think in a super low to the ground aggro deck where this is the top, right? So you're playing on turn 3, you're dropping this, and then on turn 4, you're dropping a 1-drop, maybe 2 1-drops or a 2-drop and a 1-drop. You're pumping, you're going, you're plussing, you're aggro as hell. I think this card could actually do some crazy stuff. It's a board in a box, and it's an Anthem ready to go. I was going to cast 2 spells anyway a turn in my aggro deck, so you're just rewarding me for something I was already going to do. Let's go wide in rabbits. Let's go wide in mono white aggro. Like, I think there's a lot of things. Maybe Soldiers comes back around. There's a lot of things this card can do.
Yeah, the 2 things I was thinking is Soldiers, a lot of this stuff is getting because of Dominari rotating out. Mm-hmm. And then I agree. This is a really strong card. It was on my short list. The thing that stopped me is the card you need with this card is Enduring Innocence for the card draw, and it's just very weird that they occupy the same space on the curve. And in a mono white mid-range to aggro deck, it's more difficult to do to 2-spell if you have like one of the cards is 3 mana. It's a very good card.
Imagine you have Voice of Victory.
It wouldn't shock me. Like this is in my. If we had top 10, This would be in my top 10.
Imagine Voice of Victory swinging in with this, right? And then you just go pump or something nasty, and it's just like, oh
yeah. But you also
so
have to have an instant card that's your second spell, because you need to trigger during the combat phase after Voice of Victory has done the thing. Like I just see it. I see this as a very bad top deck, like a hideously terrible top deck. And if you don't have card draw to keep the thing going...
Oh, we got that in white? Hey, by the way, Caretaker's Talent, you ever heard of it? Like, talk about some token nonsense. Put this on the board with an Elspeth Stormslayer? Like, I've got a mono white tokens kind of mid-range deck that I am ready to plug this right into.
I don't think it's bad. I'm not as optimistic about it, but it would 100% not shock me if this card unlocked mono white. Like I said, it's a very good card, but... Do you think, like, in your build of this, is this a mid-range to late-game tokens, or is this a beatdown card?
Yeah.
Because those the flurry works very differently for those.
I think the versatility here is either way. So I could imagine this is the top end. I just plus my, I'm rabbits. I'm going as wide as possible, and I'm more counting on this +1/+1 Anthem as I just lay more pressure on the board, and 3-drop is the top of my curve. But I could see it in the Caretaker's Talent deck as well, as a bridge that goes right alongside everything as you're sort of working up to your Biza or whoever. I think this card, because it has so many options, because it's just generically very powerful, because it's modal, I think there's a lot of homes for it.
Yeah. It's also occupying the same spot as Caretaker's Talent, but this is a weird card because it's not the most complicated Magic card we've ever seen, but I think it's really going to depend on what post rotation meta looks like, and then how this card actually plays, because I feel like there is a possibility this card plays a lot better than I think it does, and a lot worse, which is like that was the deciding factor.
You know what it reminds me of? Another 3-drops. It reminds me of the the Flash 3/1 that you can put in the Coatel or whatever that cat guy is.
Coatelli's Flanker.
Yeah. That reminds me of this card, and since that it's like a 3-drop and it's got modality on it. right? It just kind of can do some stuff for you and fit and be a role player in a lot of different decks. I think, it's a mythic, which is kind of nuts, but I'm planning to craft this guy up.
My number 4 pick, if you're a fan of the channel, if you've watched these videos for a while, you know that I cannot resist picking a random red card. Sometimes it's Boommobile, and sometimes it's Corey's Steelcutter, but this time it's Weapons Manufacturing.
Ooh, that's a good
This
one.
card is 1 in a red for an enchantment, and it says whenever a non-token artifact you control enters the battlefield, create a colorless artifact token named Munitions. When this token leaves the battlefield, it does 2 damage to any target. Not sacrificed, not destroyed. It's when these things leave the battlefield. So there's a scenario where you can set it up to where you're just making a bunch of these bombs, and then somebody star cages or something like that, and boom, they just all go off.
Use Star Cage.
Yeah,
Sweep them up.
yeah, and actually, that will actually make another munition.
Oh,
Weirdly
yeah.
enough. Am I dreaming, Mark? Can this be good? I know this doesn't go into the
Yeah,
Azorius
no.
deck. I think it can. I think this can go into a Rakdos artifact. Bring me back that Oni Cult Anvil vibe. I think it can do it.
I mean, it's
Tell me
really
why I'm
cool.
crazy.
It's really cool. I just think it's a tough thing to build around, right? Much like Oni Cult Anvil was, you have to put a lot of bad cards in your deck to make this one work. I think it's just kind of difficult to sort of gear everything around it. Maybe it could be a role player in like a heavy artifact.
Excuse me, I'm
deck.
just going to book a flight to Houston to hit you in the mouth for besmirching Oni Cult Anvil decks.
I mean, some people play them, but not few people win with them. It's a tough thing to do. And I think this card more than that card, right? Fairly, you don't have to do some crazy shenanigans to make that work. Anvil precipitated a lot of like draft chaff. This one's just like, you got some artifacts? And yeah, because of this set, everyone's got some artifacts.
You got some artifacts and a way to get rid of those artifacts.
So that gets a little trickier, right? It's a little bit trickier, but we got ways. We got maybe a Bartolome, just sack them all up and just fire them across the board while you grow that boy. There's ways, but it's just like,
Nah,
I think
Mark,
it's
Bartolome's old shit. We got new shit coming up.
I don't know, man. There's lots of sack outlets, but it's just like, again, are we going to build a deck entirely around this strategy? No, that's not going to be very good. And so can it be a role player in another deck? I mean, you will, but will it be good? I don't think so. I think it's probably more of a meme than anything else. But do I want it to be good? Hell yeah. This card seems so fun to play with. He's just lobbing bombs at people.
What's your number 3 card?
My card is not fun. It's not fun at all. Did you think you were going to get away from Sunfall, Kyle? Did you dare to dream that there wouldn't be an Exile Sweeper in Standard for like 15 seconds? No. Beyond the Quiet, here
Also,
it is.
Sunfall, just forever.
Yeah.
Beyond the Quiet.
I mean, it's we have Sunfall for days. It's Sunfall all the way down. Now, to be fair, this card is not nearly as good as Sunfall. I don't think Spacecraft are real. It's just not a thing. And if
Okay,
they
your number
are real,
1's not a spaceship, Mark? Sorry,
it's
everybody.
not. Bad vehicles? No, it's not. Maybe we'll be proven wrong about that. There's a lot of cool looking spacecraft, so like we'll see. But
We will not
I don't
be
think
proven
anybody's
wrong.
playing this just for spacecraft. You're playing it for exile. So in that way, the one thing that
Well,
makes
read what
it
the card does.
different, exile creatures and spacecraft, is real simple. It's right here on the screen. The kids can read it.
Sorry, is it 5 or 6?
It's 5. 3
5,
white,
right?
white. It's just straight up Sunfall mana, and you don't get the nasty token. And in that way, Sunfall, I think, is just the superior card. But yeah, people are going to play this the entire time it's in Standard. They're going to shut you down. They're going to say, no fun for you. And all the decks that have taken advantage of Sunfall are just going to slot this guy right back in. And, it's not as good, but they'll be happy. And you'll be sad because your die triggers are gone. Why couldn't we just have Ultima? Also, poor Ultima. Just completely getting its lunch eaten by this stupid card.
No, I think Ultima's better than this.
I think Ultima's in use cases. I think Ultima, you want to side that in for artifact removal, but man, there are so many things where you're just like, you'll never get that card back ever again.
I don't think this card is going to be the sweeper of choice. I think,
You think people are going to go
Sunfall's
Ultima?
absolute yeah, I think people are going to go Day of Judgment. I think they're going to go Ultima before this. I think they're going to go Starcage before this. I think that I honestly think people might go Final Showdown before this. Yeah, I think the thing about Sunfall was that it was a sweeper and a finisher.
Yeah,
and this is not that.
It's nasty. Yeah, I think Ultima's good, but it's not Exile good. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe
It does help with Reanimator. Like,
That's
it's nice
key.
to not have to deal with that shit again.
Yeah, because Ultima will shut down those die triggers because it ends the turn, but it will not stop the Zombify from, the other Zombify they've got in their hand from coming right back. And we've seen that be pretty powerful. Raise the Past or any other things that might crop up in New Standard. I think that there's so many times when the Exile and we saw this with Farewell as well, right? How many times did Farewell just sort of eat your lunch in the game because it's just like, your shit's gone, man. It's just gone and it's never coming back. So I think this is a really good card. We've got so many sweepers in Standard, so maybe this one won't find the same market share that Sunfall did, but I think it's going to see a lot of play.
My number 3 card is look, I made some picks last time hoping that Sacrifice was going to work, but guys, I promise you this time, Umbral Caller Zealot is the truth.
That's good.
It is 1 and a black, 3/2 human cleric. Sacrifice another creature or artifact. Note, not tap this creature, not pay any mana. This is Woe Strider, Bartolome free-ass sacrifice, and if you do so, you get to surveil 1. Hello, weapons manufacturing!
Yeah. Wow.
But
your number 2 pick is enabling, your number 3 pick is enabling your bad number 4 pick? What's happening here?
No, but the fact is that a free sacrifice outlet, so dope. And Bartolome is fine. Bart is fine. But forcing you to have to go the white route, like to have that on a 2-drop, you pretty much in a sacrifice deck. You just need to be Orzhov. Now, with Umbral Caller Zealot, I could be mono black. I could be Rakdos. I could be Dimir. Who knows what I'm going to do. But not forcing me, because the free sack outlet in an Aristocrats deck is key. It's so key. And when it's an unassuming little card, but the fact that this is the only other sacrifice outlet, and you don't have to go Orzhov, and I mean you get a little zhoosh for it. You get a little surveil 1, but the fact that you could just do it at instant speed whenever you want. Oh man, Mark, this card is gonna see play.
Another upgrade on one of your black picks, not legendary, which is pretty good for your 2-drop. You don't want to have a bunch of Barts in your hand. You could play 4 of these and feel good about it.
That has happened to me a lot.
I think this card is going to see a lot of play because, whether it's like munitions or Sephiroth, like those need to be like in a specific kind of sacrifice deck. That's not all the sacrifice decks, but it is still a specific kind of thing, a pingy guy or whatever. There's so many decks that want to sack stuff, right? Munitions vendor's one of them, right? But like your general Blood Artist Aristocrats deck, those want to sacrifice guys.
When you said munitions vendor, did you mean weapons manufacturer?
Who knows? Whatever. I'm never going to remember the name of this card because I'm never going to see it on the arena. Timestamp it here. It's just good to have this universal sacky guy. And, a little bit of upside, a little bit of card filtering. Yeah, that never hurt anybody anyway, right? Like, that's a good thing to have. I think it's, we're going to see this card. And there's a chance
in a Raise the Past deck, that's a huge benefit.
Yeah, it could very well be a role player in a very, very good deck. Like, think like a Marauding Mako or something like that, where it's like, it's not the star, but it could slot in nicely to a lot of different decks.
Okay, I've only got 1 card left, Mark. You've got 2 cards left?
2 cards left.
What is your number 2 card?
My number 2 card, Kyle, I think is going to be a problem. The way I look at this card...
Did you get my number 1? Did you get it?
I'm just like, I'm kind of scared by Moonlit Meditation. Do you know about Moonlit Meditation, Kyle?
No, it's a cool
artifact
card.
Or creature. The first time you would create a token...
This is Mark's weapons manufacturing.
Create this one. I'm really not so sure. I think this card might really be... We know how easy it is to make tokens in Standard. Not just to make tokens, but just to keep making them. And we're kind of already doing that anyway. Your Carrots Cakes, your Storm Slayers, your, go on and on and on. There's more like Anointed Procession stuff in this set. And now we're just going to be able to do some weird shit. I feel like the same way Agatha Soul Cauldron just unlocks you the ability to do really weird shit, I feel like this 3-drop aura is going to unlock you the ability to do some really weird shit. And the fact that you could put it on an artifact, I think is sneakily what could make this really, really good. Because those are harder to interact with, they're sweeper-proof a lot of the times, and you can just all of a sudden start copying up your, whatever cracked artifact.
Weapons manufacturing.
Sure, let's go. People are already talking about taking synthesizer instead of making it Azorius, making it Izzet, right? Izzet artifacts. Let's go with this one and just start printing, simulacrums or whatever. Like, just whatever you want to do, man.
Or removal, like copying. Well,
Yeah.
You kind of need Perilous Cage for that, but still.
Yeah, imagine you copy your Perilous. You put this on a Perilous Cage, you just have like, oh, every time I make a token, that's the token. Oops. You just never get to play cards again. I'm just going to like White Orsite's like the bad version. But you're just going to sit there in Collector's Cage, whatever people play. It could get really nasty. Sort of just snag it over and over again. Yeah, could be a problem.
Okay, do you want me to go with my number one? Because
I think we have the same number one.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Because my number one, I'll tell you right now, is not going to win games, but it is going to make them unwinnable. Does that check with you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. The card that I'm talking about is Consult the Star Charts.
Yeah, number one.
Yeah,
that's
the number one card.
It's
that
dig
everybody.
through time, everybody.
Why did we do this, Wizards of
no.
the Coast? Oh my God! Control players rejoice. 1 in a blue, kicker 1 in a blue. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands you control. Oh my God. Put one of those cards in your hand. If the spell was kicked, put 2 of those cards in your hand and put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Oh, God damn, dude. Like, you need a sweeper? About to dig 8 cards deep for 2 mana. Like,
oh my God. Yeah. The fact that
and
you can
also, sorry, the other huge redonkulous thing about this card, instant speed.
Yeah. There's so many ways this card is going to come just get you in the night. All right, you've outlined one of them, which is you can have 1 billion D mana, and you can just go find the counter spell. You don't have to kick it, right? You can just pay 2. I've got to look at the top 5 cards, the top 6 cards. I'll find the answer. It's in there somewhere, right? It's like a tutor basically at this point, and if you just like have 2 mana and you don't have anything to do on your turn, hey, go draw a card, look at the top 2, grab a card. Like, that's fine. That's actually really fine. That's totally a good thing to do. We've seen so many cards where just a little bit of selection and replacement, cantrip stuff is like really good. This card is disgusting. There are going to be so many times where you're going to see people cast this and you're going to go, please don't find the counterspell. Please don't find the counterspell. And they're going to find it so many times. And then they're going to laugh. And then they're going to make you eat your magic cards. That's what this card was designed to do.
The play pattern of I have 5 mana and I'm just going to hold up 5 mode 3 steps ahead. Oh, you didn't do anything? Okay. Well, I'll just go get more answers. Like, I'll go find my finisher. I'll go find more answers so you can never possibly win this game. This card is disgusting.
So
it's so nasty.
If you're new to Magic, you don't know what Dig Through Time is. It's a legendary card draw spell, which is 6 blue.
It's not actually legendary.
No, it's not literally legendary, but it's infamous, I should say. It has Delve, which is like, you can reduce the cast by pulling stuff out of your graveyard or whatever. But, the idea is that you can, really what it practically does is looks the top 7 cards, put 2 of them in your hand, right? That's what this card does. But it's way more flexible because you don't have to have 1 million cards in your graveyard. You don't have to do self-mill stuff to enable this to happen. You just can do it. Right?
Yeah,
and it just gets
lands.
It starts here and then it just gets better. That's so cracked. This card is cracked.
Yeah, this card's going to see play pretty far back. The only you can with Dig Through Time, you can turbo mill yourself and you got your fetches and all that. So you can delve pretty quickly, but like this card rewards you for doing exactly what this card wants the decks that it's going to go into, which is keep hitting your land drops and go find the card that you need to and hold up counter magic. Like, this is going to be like Azorius Draw Go is going to be so strong on the back of this card.
Do you think...
Not to mention there's ways to recurse it.
Recurve it?
Recur it.
I don't think you still got there. I
It's
think
recursive.
this card broke you. That's how good it is. Do you think that there's any chance that, like, when it said X is the number of lands you control, there's a set mechanic or a theme that we've seen here, which is the number of different lands you control? I wonder if this card had that at some point, and they just took that off and was like, what if we just completely destroyed this card, made this uncommon into a rare or something, and just took that little clause out and was like, nah, just the number of lands. It's fine. You can play 15 islands and just look through your whole damn deck. Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't. There's not much else to say about it other than it's just silly. It kind of reminds me of Stocked Up. It kind of reminds me of Memory Deluge, where you're just like, yeah, this is just card draw. Just really good card draw.
Could be one mana more. You draw the same number of cards, and you can look at more than, and it's at instant speed. Like,
Yeah, sure.
Oh boy,
Sure.
oh boy.
Sure.
I think stock up prices might be plummeting.
Okay, those are our picks, but tell us what you think. Did we miss something? What do you think we're wrong? Are we crazy? Are these meme picks? Let us know in the comments down below. But now is the time that tries men's souls, Kyle. We will set in judgment. Let us review our Final Fantasy picks. Before we open it up, is there anything...
Wait.
Oh,
Got
right.
transition. Sorry. All right, there we go.
So busy, but now we're small, like our picks. Is there anything before we rate Final Fantasy that you want to make a case for boosting up the ladder here?
Yeah, bud. I would like to. Sorry, Bat Bob. I'd like to move Bat Bob up to edge cases again because Cecil made it edge cases again.
Yeah.
Just a lot of moving back and forth for that stupid ass card.
It's Bat Bob. Yeah, it's a good card. I'm fine actually with everything else is. There's really not reason to move anything on my side.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the Hinterland Sanctifier. I still think Life Game has an opportunity to go to see some play, but we'll wait.
All right, my number 5, Clash of the Icons. LOL bad. It's not there. It's just so you know, we're looking at not a lot of data. We're on MTG Melee, and there really haven't been many tournaments because the set's only been out for, I believe, 5 fucking minutes somehow. We're playing in whatever. So we're looking at some Spotlight series, about 2,200 decks. This featured in 2 of them. I really thought with Una on the rise, this card would see some love, but it has not. Yuna, sorry.
I think it's just the symptom of green, man.
Yeah,
Like, people
aren't playing a lot of green.
They're not playing the green. My number 5 card, Midgar, City of Mako. Mark, I think this card is the mayor of Edge Cases Town.
Yeah.
What says the data?
The data says it's in 27 decks, so that's like a pretty good compared to the total number of decks. But it's a one of, right? It's kind of like chucked in a lot of Orzhov stuff. You see it in lots of different decks, but it's not anything special. It's
also not tearing up the ladder or anything.
No, it's like the 24th land. It's kind of chucked in there as a why not. I think it's edge case. I think it's it's fine. It can only ever be fine. I just don't see this card doing much.
I think if Sacrifice is like a no shit tier 1 deck, I think this thing can get up there. But as long as the best home for it is B, C tier, then like a cuttable card from that deck gonna stay in edge cases.
Yeah, probably so. My number 4 is Battle Menu. This card is actually, I think, pretty decent. It only featured in 18 decks, but I would argue to you that it sees some play. I think I see this card occasionally on the ladder, and I think after rotation, we're actually going to see this a little bit more. It's got a little bit more room to breathe now. There's a lot of cards out there that really are locked in limited. This thing has the modality to keep it pushing. I'm expecting some more things from this, but right now I'd say it sees some play in your various white decks.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. I think exactly like you said in the set review, the fact that you have so many options with it is what sets this card apart. And yeah, I would say this card sees some play. Not good in multiple decks yet. Certainly not meta defining. But I still think this card's path is upward. I do not think the best days of Battle Menu are behind it.
I believe that, yeah. Go on.
Okay, Mark, here's the thing.
Go on.
Look, man. You know how we used to do our top 5 best cards and our top 5 fun cards? Well, I got my notes
you got confused.
I got my notes all gonked up. And I picked Golbez Crystal Collector. And do we have a category below LOL bad? Look,
what is wrong with your brain?
I love this card, and I want it to be good. And I brewed, so I was like, okay, I'll just do it myself, like
I'll
Thanos
show
grabbing the
them.
Infinity. Boy,
Yeah.
nope, not good, not good at all. I did just crush with it in limited just now, like literally earlier today. But yeah,
You're the
Golbez,
guy? You're the one guy that did that unlimited?
I'm the guy. Me and I think Luis Scott Vargas did it.
Or were you? Did you play Esper? How did you do that?
No, just Dimir.
Wow.
Just Dimir control artifacts, baby, in limited. But yeah, I played Dimir control artifacts in standard on the ladder, and there's a reason y'all haven't seen that deck yet. It's shit.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I would put this in Clash of the Icons. Like, what the hell were we thinking? I will say though, overall, the set was pretty. And it's only been a couple months, but the set was pretty unimpactful. It was, looking at like the misses. Not a lot of misses. It just didn't do much, even after the bans.
Yeah.
Before the bans, right? These were made before the bans. There was really no shot that any of
I
these
know,
cards
but like if I'd have picked, like I was back and forth with like Arden in this card, I should have just picked Arden.
Yeah, well, Arden, a little bit of a splash, more than Golbez.
Yeah, I know, but like at least it has some upside. Golbez is never gonna be a thing.
No.
Golbez will live in the basement until he rotates.
Golbez was a commander card that didn't commander properly. My number 3 pick. I'll be interested to see where you put this. Ultima, a cracked up, really good, I think, sweeper. It turns out that just being able to brush the board away and in the turn, a lot of play actually. 195 decks up in this Spotlight Series data. It really did matter to be able to shut that turn off afterwards. I think people played this, and sweeping away artifacts ain't no joke. I think this card is good in multiple decks. People play it in a lot of different configurations.
I think it is good in multiple decks. I think you've got your classic like Azorius control build, which is like the most normal home for it, probably where it's gonna see the most rise, but it's not the only home for it. And yeah, it's a really good Magic card. My number 3 card, which I actually own in paper now. I opened this card. Sephiroth, Fabled Soldier. Mark, can I let's see what the data says.
Is it fabled because nobody plays it?
I was gonna say, can I get to edge cases?
No, I think you can easily get to edge case. I actually think there's an argument here for a see some plays. It featured in 30 decks in the sample data. People are trying to make this card work. Like I see it on the arena.
Do you think it's because of what the card
bit.
does, or because of whose face is on the card?
Difficult to parse, I grant you, but I think it's just a generically powerful card. People love making Blood Artists. They love making Aristocrats work. There's things in the sets that support that. I think the pattern will continue. Every new set, people are going to dust off their Sephiroth and try to make Aristocrats work, and then they're just going to get destroyed, as is the eternal cycle. I think this card...
Let's see how my boy Munitions Factory or Weapons Manufactory does.
Well, unfortunately, Sephiroth doesn't care about your Munitions Factory. Those don't belong in the same deck. But it is.
Is it just creatures?
So it's not really going to be there. But
creatures
I would say,
you control and creatures they control.
That helps. I would say, let's put an edge case for right now. But I wouldn't argue if you wanted to put this in season play because people play it. They're trying. It doesn't really crack the tournament scene, but people are trying to play it.
I'll keep it in edge cases for now. I think that's where it belongs, but I think Sephiroth's days are not done. That is a stupid-ass Magic card.
Speaking of stupid-ass Magic cards, my number 2 pick was the Belle of the Ball at the Pro Tour. Vivi.
I'm celebrating because it was my number 1 pick because I know how to read Magic the Gathering cards, Mark.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was my number 2 pick. The big thing I think that's interesting is somehow a lot of people doubted this card. And I really don't think we're going backwards and rewriting history here. I saw a lot of people being like, commander card, whatever, it's a meme. I was like, are you high on literal cocaine? This card is disgusting. And what's interesting, Kyle, I think this card is actually really, really good. Not just in Corey Steelcutter, as we predicted. Agatha Soul Cauldron right now is doing some nasty things.
Oh, yeah.
Just with the ability. And I think that just shows you how you take this text and you put it on a Magic card and people will suffer. It is disgusting. This is a meta-defining card.
Yes, it 100% is. See Pro Tour Summer Vegas 2025 when half of the top 8 has the card in the deck list. I'm gonna call that meta-defining.
It was crazy.
Vivi, my boy, is not done either. This card's disgusting, and I fully expect that Vivi will continue to be a problem and is in current standard right now, post-rotation, number 1 on the watch list for bannings.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think in terms of the most debilitating, especially I think honestly, I hate it more in Soul Cauldron than I ever did in Core Steel Cutter. Maybe because I was so mad at Core Steel Cutter. I didn't have
Well, you
really any
lost so much
madness.
quicker in
Yeah,
Cutter.
that's true. But just watching people just like spin up their mana and then just spin it back down and then just put that ability on like 5 different creatures is, ugh. They can fireball you, they can laugh at you, they can pull your pants down and say your wiener's small. Like, they can just do whatever they want. And it's almost like omniscience because they're just playing Magic by themselves while you're being like, cool, neat, yay, so much mana for you.
Your draw spell that you cast actually, because you put it on 3 creatures that stock up, actually costs 0 mana. Sick.
Oh,
Love that.
Fun.
Yay.
Love that.
Fun.
Card's nasty.
I'm really curious about my second card. I haven't checked tournament results. I will just tell you from the ladder, my gal, Tifa Lockhart, is doing some work out there.
Yeah.
This chick punches the shit out of people. Oh, man. Mark, I believe you laughed at me. I told you Tifa Lockhart was going to be one-shotting people, and one-shot people she does.
I knew she was capable of it. I just didn't think she was capable of doing it this reliably. It's not in the most decks yet, and I don't think we've really seen it pop off in like the pinnacle tier that we haven't had any like regional qualifiers and stuff like that to test this with. But it's certainly featured in the regional the Spotlight series. 24 decks, people playing this up and down the arena, and once again, kind of like Sephiroth though. Is it people just like the look of her? Like what's going on here? We got some Italian prime ministers or whatever out in the audience. If you know, you know.
Deep cut, Mark.
It is it's a card people are playing. I would say, but the one thing that kind of is tricky here is it is only the one deck, right? It is landfall up and down. So I would say
there's mono green and there's Gruul.
Come on now.
That is multiple decks, Mark.
Come on now, Kyle. I would say even if it performs, we have time. If it performs at a tournament level, there's tons of landfall stuff coming in Edge of Eternities. So it's certainly possible that deck could get even better. I put Frenzy Baloth in that category. There's a lot of stuff Green could do. I just don't think it's there yet. It's not tournament proven yet.
No, I'm fine with see some play. Based on it sees some play in tournaments, and then it sees plenty of play on the arena. But before we call it meta defining, I would like some more tournament data to say like, hey, did you guys know this shit's like a ley line where you just one shot your opponent, but because they said tap lane, go, and then you just ended their world.
It's like
yeah, like you hit them for literal 40 damage or whatever. Tifa, ooh, girl,
break their world.
You good?
My number 1 pick.
Right. No,
Nibble.
Mark. No.
Oh, I'm not embarrassed by this pick. This is a good pick.
It's not good.
Nibelheim of Flame. It's a very good card. It's featured in 12 decks of the sample series.
Can we build some commonality?
Okay,
let's try. Name. It's a stupid name.
You'll say that when Sephiroth lights your whole village on fire.
Wait, where I'm from originally? Because
that's fine actually. Sometimes it is on fire. The idea that this is a good card. I just think like this is what we need. The problem is it just doesn't have a home yet. Big Red's not really a thing. People really want it to be a thing. There's some cards like Red Doppelgang coming out in this set that's pretty nasty. Maybe it'll become a thing someday, but I kind of feel like it's like me chasing your 4 red drops or aristocrats or whatever. Like everyone always wants to be a thing and it just doesn't happen. This card is very powerful. There's some contingencies. People play it. I could put it in LOL bad, but I would say that it could be edge case as well. We'll see how we go. There's more left in this card. We're going to see some stuff out of it.
The reason why this card will always be LOL bad is because there is nothing worse than having your sweeper removed. It's very bad because you were presumably losing that game because they were playing your sweeper and they were on the aggro. But somehow you have a creature that's bigger than all of their creatures. And in this very specific instance, they do not have a removal spell.
Or Death Touch.
Or Death Touch. Mark, you are living in magical Christmas land with this card.
I don't know, man. Something about your sweeper just drawing you a fresh grip is like, it's got to do something.
If you flash it back.
Yeah.
If you somehow live to do that.
It could happen. It's a good card. Well, we're going to see some stuff. But let us know in the comment section, am I delusional? Is Nibelheim a flame?
Is Mark's brain a flame?
In addition to not being spelled... Okay, Golbaz, let's calm down a bit.
I know, I was going to say Golbaz, but...
The idea that this set is come and gone is kind of a blur. But let's do some big picture thoughts. What'd you think about it? How weird was it having Final Fantasy up in your standard
I
environment?
got super used to it, and honestly, I drafted the shit out of this set.
Yeah.
Even when I was losing, I was still liking it. I don't know what it was. Really like drafting the set. That was very fun. I don't know. I don't want to be like, it wasn't powerful enough to impact standard, because I didn't want Wizards to power creep the format. So I got to give kudos to Wizards for every card in Final Fantasy not being meta defining. Like, good, that's what I wanted. When these old ass cards rotate out, I want a powered down standard. So I'm happy, even though it might take a little while for Final Fantasy to see the limelight and really be on the power level of what I'm wanting. If that means, because I think Edge of Eternities is on a similar power level.
Oh, I think it's way more powerful. I think Edge of Eternities is significantly more powerful. But we won't ever really know. It's like you said, it's the last set in the most bloated standard we've ever seen. Like, by a year and a billion sets and foundations. So, like, the idea that any set in that position could come pop off would be probably a bad thing, frankly.
You'd have to be OGL drain, to be honest with you.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it would have to be fully cracked to do that. So maybe it's a good thing that it didn't, and we'll see a little breathing room here. But I think maybe more than anything, and I'd argue more than Lord of the Rings, Final Fantasy is a Magic the Gathering copacetic IP, right? Like, it just fits, some more than others, right? Like, I think, like, seeing cars and stuff is still too weird.
Can I push back on that? Just, I think Final Fantasy worked better because there was one Lord of the Rings worked better because there was one Lord of the Rings universe. The fact that you have like 16-ish different worlds, like, well, 7 looks so different from 9, which looks so different from 8. Yeah. And it's just that part was a little aesthetically discombobulated.
So I think, like, when we get into, like, that's, I think, what I mean, like, with the cars and stuff like that. But, like, a lot of the, like, you know, Sephiroth and Cloud and stuff like that, that stuff looks like it could be from 5 or 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever. Some of the newer Final Fantasies, which get very techy, I don't love that.
I mean, like, 7 got pretty techy.
Well, 7 got, like, super techy, but, like, in a weird artistic way. But, like, regardless, I think you're right about it being a little bit all over the place. But I also think that kind of helps it because it's not like, oh, it's Frodo. It's freaking Frodo. You know, like, it's just kind of a little bit weird. And then you also have to have, like, 3 Frodos because, you know, there's only so many characters if you're not reading the Silmarillion or whatever. Regardless, I'll say that, you know, it's like, I don't like it. I don't like that we have these universes beyond the standard sets. But, like, in this instance, didn't really bother me that much. Check in when we're playing with Spider-Man and Avatar. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that one. Those I don't think will be as copacetic, but, you know, we'll see. Draft environment was good because it was so balanced. You could just draft anything, and that felt really fun. Fresh, kept it fresh.
The last opinion I'll say on it is, and we might make another video about this, is I definitively hate this release schedule.
Yeah.
Like it significantly saps my enjoyment of playing Magic, like a lot. This release schedule is ridiculous. I really liked Final Fantasy. I thought it was a successful set, and the amount of time that it got to actually be the newest set is bullshit.
Didn't you tell me it came out on, like, June 9th or something? June 10th?
I don't even think it was it that even long ago? Yeah, I think it was. So
you're talking about, like, a little over a month? So, like, 2 months, basically, is what we're looking at here when it's all said and done.
A little less than 2 months.
That's crazy, man.
I hate that. I hate it really bad. It honestly, and it's like, it makes me, like, kind of resentful towards Edge of Eternities. Like, I was looking at these cards being less excited about them because I was like, I'm not done jumbo cactoring people.
You showed up early. I'm like, the party's at 5 and you're here at noon and now I have to entertain you?
It's seriously, like I said, we don't need to ramble about it all night, but I think that the gut reaction that all Magic players have to be like, I hate this. You know, I didn't want to be that guy, and we can do new stuff, and new is not always bad, but I believe my feelings on this subject have crystallized in a little bundle of hate more than I thought it would, that this release schedule is untenable, and I do not care for it. And
people only have so much money, right?
It's going to decrease the amount I play Edge of Eternities.
who's buying all this, man? I know like this is the best setting set of all time or whatever, but like how do people afford this, man? Like this is crazy to be buying all this in paper. I think like it's easy. Just give it another month. I think 3 months is like a very doable cadence.
Yeah.
I felt the same way
with
with
fine.
I felt the same way
6
with
is
Dustborn.
disgusting.
Like all of a sudden we're having so much fun with Dustborn, and then like Foundations just comes and you're like, on to the next thing. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess. And then it's like, I mean, doesn't it feel like Clans of Tarkir just dropped? Like there was a whole set in between now and Tarkir. Like that was weird, man. That was this summer. That was so not very long ago, and a whole nother set is come and gone. It's kind of nuts, man. Like you said, I think it is unsustainable, and Wizards is, I think, shooting themselves in the foot long term. Like people can't keep up with this; it'll be too much.
But anyway, as far as Edge of Eternities, non-bias aside, I'm very excited about the set. Like I think it in the trying to evaluate the designs that are in the set looks cool, and we'll see what it does to standard. And I'm looking forward to brewing, even if I'd probably look forward to it a little bit more if I had a little bit more time. But let us know what you guys think.
Let me ask you a more important question, Kyle. Is this a hat set?
I have looked and read every single card today. No, it's not a hat set.
Why not?
Because the flavor is better.
I've agreements, but I've spent a lot of time thinking about this.
Can I say because
set.
Wait, because I just want to say like my thoughts, just because you seem to have it more crystallized, is because Murders at Karloff Manor felt like wedging detective shit into Ravnica, which doesn't make sense, and a void in the middle of nowhere that has no character or life in Outlaws of Thunder Junction felt like bullshit. This feels like a real world with factions and conflicts that like is interesting and visually appealing in a way that Ether Drift wasn't. So that's the best I can do.
I think the big difference is there's two subtle differences. It's not just about like pre-existing characters, but I think that's a big part of it. Pre-existing characters and settings that are acting in silly ways, aka putting on a hat, right? So it's like, oh, Rakdos is just the muscle in the gang. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, right? Like, it's just stupid, right? Or it's like, all of a sudden Ravnica turns into Clue, and you're like, what? That just does not make sense, right? It's a hat, right? Everyone's putting on a little costume and acting in unnatural ways. But that's markedly different than a setting, right? Settings have always been kind of reductive, right? You could think of Kaladesh or Kamigawa or Ravnica.
Tarkir.
Right? Tarkir, right? Like, not even the ones that are like aping like historical or real world influences, but even like Ravnica, it's like, what if the whole world was a city or whatever? Economopolis, right? Like, that's reductive, but it's a setting and it's an idea, and then you go from there, right? Just because you're saying like outer space, right? Dune-ish, right? That doesn't make it a hat set. It just makes it a simplified theme that you can design cards around. Ether Drift is a bad hat set because you take, again, all our existing characters and you're like, what if they're wacky racers now? And you're like, that's stupid.
I don't see Kaya wearing a space helmet.
If you just took Ether Drift, and I don't think it still would have been a good set, but if you just took it and you went to some weird Mad Max realm or plane, and they're all doing these races or whatever, and they've been doing those races, and this is what they do because, you know, their gods tell them to, or whatever. Like, that's way better than just like, hey, we're all gonna get together and have a big old race, right? That's not what we're doing in this set, and it just feels so much different. And people are liking
that's enough. That's enough rambling, but I 100% agree. All right, do you agree? Let us know in the comment section. We respond to every single comment. If you've watched this far, surely you just want to like let Mark know that Nibelheim of Flame is not a very good card. So
who's better? No, this will be the ultimate tiebreaker. Choose your loyalty. What's a better card, Nibelheim of Flame or Golbez? Come on. Just pick.
I'm honestly willing to have that discussion. I think Golbez is probably better.
Okay, I think Nibelheim of Flame is better. Let's jump in the comments and let us know. We are so excited to brew up. It's coming out in a week. We're going to be about this, and we will see you guys in the next one.